say that because oftentimes affirmative action is mistaken to be about bringing women at the decision table. Having said that, you are right that with the principles in place, I think we have come a very long way with the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and we have managed to bring on board more women, particularly at the decision-making tables, and particularly the political decision-making table. I think we have way more women legislators than we ever had after the Constitution. We have way more women at the grassroots in terms of the MCAs in decision-making place. But your question was, where should we go? And my view is this. First, we need to learn to respect the rule of law. Today, the CS, Public Service and Gender, has actually set up a task force to help us to implement the two-third gender rule. The courts have ruled on this, but we have become a lawless country. We don't want to straight away just respect the rule. I hope, Daisy, this task force which you are co-chairing will finally deliver on the two-third gender rule in political spaces. But we must go beyond two-third in National Assembly and county assemblies. And we had a pre-conference workshop with women MCS from Nandi, Elgeyo Marakwet, and Uasin Gishu, and this is women senators. One of the women senators' agenda is to try and get all the devolved government legislators to understand our role on oversight in order to also ensure that implementation of not just the two-third, but of other ways of bringing inclusion is done. So one of the things we want to do is to oversight how every decision table in every village, in every ward, has included women, has included persons with disability, has included youth. And that includes the committee, development committee in a hospital, the market committee. All of those are decision-making tables, and they must also respect the two-third gender rule. The other thing we need to do is to start carrying out our job on monitoring inclusion in development. How will we do this? We need to actually start looking closely on the implementation tools by national and county governments. The implementation tools include the development plans, and for county governments, this means the CIDP, the annual work plans, and we need to start looking at them. To what extent have these plans factored inclusion of everyone? And it is not about a sentence talking about women, youth, and persons with disability. We also want to see the budget line. How has Uasin Gishu County contemplated how trade in Uasin Gishu is going to involve women, persons with disabilities, and youth? How is the agriculture project within Uasin Gishu going to involve women, youth, and so on? So we need to actually integrate that. And then we are going to monitor the budgets, and we are going to monitor the impacts. Senator Kajwang told you that in the Senate, we have had conversation with the Auditor General, and we want to do impact assessments of what is happening with the monies that are being given to counties and also to the national government. So impact assessments will enable us to know whether the livelihoods of men, women, persons with disability are moving up. And then finally, on what we need to do is actually think futuristic. How well are we protecting our future generations? Chair of session I don't know whether Kenyans know that between 2016 and 2022, 2.3 million adolescent girls were pregnant. Among these, we had 143,000 10 to 14-year-old pregnant. And the statistics show that averagely 42% of adolescents are experiencing sexual gender-based violence within their homes, in the schools, in the communities, even within the churches. And within, boys and girls are actually suffering sexual violence. But we are burying our heads in the sand. We don't want to give sex education. We don't want to protect these children. When you look at the number of prosecutions, they don't even come to 0.1%.